everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another cross-stitching update video. In this video, this is going to be just a weekend vloggy video, and I have plans for this weekend that are different from my normal plans. So normally this month I had been spinning a wheel on my phone to pick my project, and so the first thing I'm going to do is actually show you the last project that I worked on so that you can see that project. So at the end of my last video, I had spun the wheel and picked the project Merry Mushroom Village Picnic number 3, which is by Heaven and Earth Designs. And here is what I got done on that project. I think it was almost 1,000 stitches. It was like 970 and then I quit working on it. And I am really happy with that progress. I was focusing mostly on just like this one kind of like orangey yellowish color in the mushroom. And so the stitching was really easy to get done because it was mostly one color. And this is 2/1 half cross. So there's my progress on the last project that I had picked from Spin the Wheel. And my plans for this weekend is I am not going to be spinning the wheel. Instead, I am going to be having what I call a WIP Down Weekend, because I have talked before about how I want to get my number of WIPs, which stands for work in progress. So just any project is a WIP once you've started it. And so I want to get my WIPs down because I have a lot of things that I've started. I want to get things finished. And so this weekend I'm going to focus on working on things that are close to a finish. And I am including all hobbies. So that means I have some cross-stitch things I want to do. I have a knitting thing that I want to get done, and then I also have a book that I need to finish listening to. So that's what I'm going to try and do this weekend, is just get some things complete that have been just kind of close to completion, but they haven't got done yet. So the first thing that I will be trying to finish is Strawberry Farm, which is by Flossie Fox Shop. And this is on a 14 count DMC pre-printed fabric that is stitched 2/1 full cross. I will also be working on some of the back stitching on Kita. Kita is artwork by Hannah Alexander and charted by Pinky the Pink from makeitpink.net. And all that's left on her is doing back stitching. So there's back stitching that needs to happen in her hair. I need to do this darker back stitch line on the bottom half of her dress. So there's not a lot of back stitching left, so it shouldn't take that long, hopefully. And then there's beads, like thousands of beads. I think like 2,000 beads are supposed to be in her. So I will also be doing some beading this weekend. Those are the only cross-stitch projects that I want to work on because those are the only projects that are really close to being finished. And then for knitting, I would like to keep working on my daughter's leg warmers. They are close to being finished. I think she has said that she likes the length that they are. So I just need to bind off on this one here. And then I need to do one more pink stripe on this one to get this one to be the same length as the other one. And then I will be finished with these leg warmers, and that will be another WIP that is complete. So there are those two, and then for books, I would like to finish listening to Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I had checked it out like last month, and I only got like halfway through the book. And it's an audiobook from the library, so I can listen to it while I'm doing my other crafts. And so I want to get that finished this weekend. Fingers crossed, just to get that checked off of my list of things to do. So that is what I will be doing this weekend. I will be checking in throughout this video, mostly like faceless videos where I'm just kind of showing you the progress on the project, and I'll be doing check-ins. I'm not sure how often, but we will see what I end up getting done. And so I'll be back hopefully soon. I think the first thing I'm going to work on is Strawberry Farm, so I'll be back hopefully soon with an update on what I get done on Strawberry Farm. I am back with an update on Strawberry Farm. So far I have done 450 out of the 900 stitches, so I am halfway to being done with what I had left. And I think I'm going to switch projects now. It is still currently Friday, it's like 2 o'clock, so I still have quite a bit of time left to stitch today. And so far I've just been filling in this bottom section. I think I have finished like 2 or 3 of the colors that are used, which I am very happy about. But this section here is going to be a little bit slower because there's a lot of color changes, because there's a lot of smaller details. So like there's like smaller flowers scattered throughout. And so I'm going to be having to change colors a lot more in this section right here. But I am going to be switching projects right now because I don't want to finish this and then only have back stitching and beads left to do this weekend. So I'm going to take a break from this and work on Kita for a little bit to make some progress on her back stitching. So I will show her real quick. On Kita, my plan right now is to work on the metallic back stitching that goes in her hair because I have been putting that off for a long time. I actually did the back stitching on her face whenever I had stitched her face, which was like a couple years ago, I think. And so I did all the back stitching in her hair and everything, but I did not do the back stitching of the metallic because I was like, that's not going to be fun to do. And so I haven't done it. So I'm going to do it now. And I'll be back, hopefully, with the finished back stitching. I'm hoping I can get the back stitching on her hair done tonight so that I can work on something else, maybe do Strawberry Farm again, or maybe do more of the back stitching that goes around the outline of her entire body. So we will see what I get done, and I will be back hopefully soon with another update. And here is Kita after doing the back stitching. I did the gold back stitching and I ended up switching the thread that was used. It called for the DMC Light Effects Metallic and it was terrible. It was like falling apart. I actually kept one of the strands to try and show that it was just falling apart. You won't really be able to see it if it's going to focus. It was falling apart, so I don't know how well you'll be able to see, like, right... Hold on. There we go. So you'll be able to see there was like these little, like, the threads were basically falling apart, and so I didn't even do very many stitches. I had done like a few stitches of back stitching. My thread lengths were not very long, and this color is the worst color I've ever used of the DMC Light Effects. So there's also DMC Light Effects in this red. There's a blue here. That light blue up there is also Light Effects, but this gold one, for some reason, I don't know what it is, it just falls apart. So I ended up actually going to Michael's and I found this DMC Diamond or something, and I ended up buying this, and it's the exact same color, so it's 3821, but it's just this instead of the Light Effects, and this was much better. So I ended up using this and doing the back stitching in her hair. I finished that back stitching, and then I actually finished all of the back stitching in her since then. So it's still Friday. I've just been stitching away. So I did the outlining over here on her spear. I need to try and zoom out a little bit so that I can show more. I'm probably just gonna have to take a picture and insert a picture. So I need to try and flip her. There we go. And then I did all of the outline of her on the bottom, so just that outline in that kind of like reddy brown color, and so she is completely done. And then there was also some back stitching of her legs that wasn't done yet, so I will try and take a picture of her fully back stitched. But now that means it's time for beads, so I think I'm going to do a little bit of beading tonight. If I get tired of beading, I might go back to working on Strawberry Farm, or I might work on the leg warmers because I still have not done any knitting yet this weekend, and it's already the end of Friday, and so that means I only have Saturday and Sunday to try and also finish the leg warmers. But I'm really happy with the progress on Kita. Like, the back stitching was, to me, the worst thing to do, so I'm happy that I can do beading now. But all these empty spaces, all of that is beads. So there's going to be a lot of beading. And I'll be back probably tomorrow, Saturday morning, with an update on what I end up doing tonight. I am back and it is Saturday morning, and last night I ended up working on two different things, and you can see both of them right now. So the first thing that I did is I did some knitting and I finished off the leg warmers, and it didn't take very long. I just had to do a little bit more of the blue section on one of the socks, I think, and then I had to just cast them off, and then they are done. The yarn I used for this was from Geektastic Fibers in the colorway Trans Pride, and it has like a sparkle to it, which is very pretty, and I am happy that they are done because I started them in like the summer, and it is now fall. So those are done. And then I also worked on beading on Kita. So I did beading in her hair, which was very nice. So there's gold beads in her hair. I did that. And then I also started the beading on her dress, which there are so many beads that are going to go into this dress. It is insane. And I think one of the beads might be discontinued. So there is a bead that's supposed to go here, and I think it's supposed to be a teal Magnifica bead. And I don't know a ton about the bead world or discontinued beads and replacement beads. So I think I'm just going to use a similar color bead that I have already and just fudge it, because yeah, I remember that when I ordered all the beads for Kita from 123 Stitch, there was one bead that was out of stock and I didn't remember which one, and so yesterday I was going through and looking through the bead list to see if I had everything, and I did not have the one that goes on the side panel here. So I went to see if it's on 123 Stitch, and the list, they didn't even have it listed on 123 Stitch, and then I saw on other websites that it said it was discontinued, so yeah, I just can't get that bead. And like I said, it's supposed to be a teal, so it's supposed to be like a darker, like bluey, kind of greeny color. And I think I might just do, there is a light blue bead that is used in her dress, so I might just use like a lighter blue bead, or I might just use, I think there's also like a darker, smaller blue bead, so I'll just use one of those, or maybe a combination, like sprinkle light and blue throughout these sections and see how that works. But yeah, they don't have that one anymore, so that's kind of disappointing. And then I looked on Etsy at some like replacement beads, because there's some other brands that make a similar bead. But I also don't know if I want to spend like $5 on shipping for one bead that's, I think, only used in these two sections. So yeah, I just don't know if I want to do that. And I also want to be able to work on it and finish this section today and not have to wait for beads. So I will be working on Kita more today. There are so many bead places left. Like, there's so much beading that has to happen on her. So it's just going to be a lot of beading. So I will be back later once I have done more beading on Kita, and then I most likely will switch back to Strawberry Farm at some point today. So I'll probably record another clip once I switch back to Strawberry Farm, because I would like to possibly get that one finished today, but we will see how much stitching time I have, and so I will be back with an update later. It is currently Sunday because yesterday I ended up being busier than I thought I was going to be. We ended up going to a pumpkin patch and did some little, pumpkin picking, and so I ended up being busy, so I didn't make an update. I also did not do as much stitching as I thought I was going to do, but I did get Strawberry Farm finished. So look at that. It is fully done. Yes, there are hoop marks. I have not ironed it, but I am really excited to have this finished. That means that I think I'm down to 33 whips. I think I was at 34, so now I'm at 33 whips. I am really excited to get close to being at like 30 whips. Under 30 would be great. And my list of projects that I want to have finished, when I made that list, I had 17 projects on the list. I will insert the video of where I talked about that, because if you're new, you might be very confused. I have a list of projects that I'm focusing on trying to get finished. There are 17 projects on the list. It will take me years to finish all of them. Now that this is finished, there are currently 16 projects on that list, and the amount of stitches that I had left to do on all of my projects added up. When I made the WIP list, it was at 836,000. I am currently at 818,000 stitches total of how many stitches I would have to do on only the WIPs that I want to finish, which is still a lot, but I'm hoping that I can end this year under 800,000. Even if it's like 799,999 stitches, I will be happy if it's under 800,000 stitches at the end of this year. So that's Strawberry Farm. I worked on this last night while I was watching Agatha All Along. I really like that show. I am currently caught up to the last episode. I don't know if there's more. I don't know how many episodes are supposed to be in that series. It's on Disney Plus, and it's technically a Marvel show, which I am going to say, I don't know anything about Marvel. I've never watched other Marvel shows, which I think that this one is supposed to be like after WandaVision, if that's the name. I'm not sure. I haven't watched that, so I'm kind of lost on certain things, but it's a good show. Anyways, I also worked on Kita, and this is where I am on Kita. I was doing more beads here. I also realized that I'm going to have to order the beads. So I was talking about how there were beads here, and I was like, I think I'll just use whatever I have, because Magnificas, you can't find them. And I realized later that those beads are also used here, so I ended up ordering a couple options off of Etsy. It was from the same store, so I only had to pay for shipping once, but they had two different teal beads that might match or be very close. So the beads that are supposed to be here and here are a teal Magnifica bead with, I think, a silver inner portion. And so I found two different colors of teal from, I can't remember the bead. It was like Miyuki. I can't remember the bead brand, but there was two different teals that are silver lined. So I ordered both of them to see which one I think will look best. And so I think I'm just going to keep working on beading Kita with the white and the beads that I have, because I think I have every other bead color. That is all that I've done so far. It's currently Sunday in the morning, so I think I might work on beading Kita a little bit more. I also still need to finish listening to Tress of the Emerald Sea. That's like the last thing for my little WIP Down weekend that I haven't really done a lot of, is listening to the audiobooks. So I really need to listen to Tress of the Emerald Sea. I think I have 4 hours left, but I usually listen to it at 1.25 speed at least, you know, just make it go a little faster. And then I also might work on Autumn Harmony, but I don't think I'll show Autumn Harmony in this video. I'll probably just show her in my next weekly video so that you can see more progress at once. I will be back soon with an update on Kita with what I get done on her today, but I'm at least happy that I had one finished this weekend. So Strawberry Farm is done. It is now currently Monday morning, and I spent last night working on beading while I watched Sister Wives, which it was a good episode. Like, it had Christmas at the beginning, it got me really excited, but then it ended with a conversation between Cody and Mary, and everything Cody said made me want to like bang my head against the wall. He is so frustrating. But it had Christmas, like at the beginning, they were talking about Christmas. Love Christmas. So I was super hyped at the beginning. And then I listened to Tress of the Emerald Sea and I finished the audiobook, so I was happy with that. And like I said, that's a really good story. It was about a girl who's on an island and she falls in love with this boy and she has to go save him from a sorceress, and so it's like her little adventure saving this boy from a sorceress. It was really good. I liked it. It was kind of funny. Beads. So I worked on more of the beads on this section. I think this wasn't finished yet, so I finished this section and then I moved down to this section here, and this one had 3 colors of beads. 4. So there was the white, there are some blue beads here, there's red, and then there's also like there was another color of like small beads that are in the red section. So 4 colors of beads in this little section. And I also think I'm going to run out of the white beads because I've already used a full thing of white beads. I had a half of a little container of beads from a different project that was like, it was the same number and everything. And so I used that half container, and then I am on another container, which is my last one of beads, and I've already used quite a bit from that one. So I think I'm going to need more of the white beads because there are a lot that are used in this bottom section. So I might need to order that. But here's where she is. I still have a lot of beads to do in the bottom section, but I will get it done eventually. I don't know when it will be finished because I still have to wait for the teal beads. I will also have to, like I said, most likely order more of the white beads, but I am really happy with how she is looking so far. So there is her hair in her face, and then I did the beading on her dress this weekend, got all that finished, and look at, she's gonna have so many beads and I love it. So I am happy with my weekend progress. I was able to fully finish Strawberry Farm, got that done, finished the leg warmers, finished Tress of the Emerald Sea, and then I made really good progress on Kita. But now it is time for me to go back to like my normal stitching. I really need to work on Autumn Harmony. I am going to be spinning the wheel again this week, so this weekend WIP Down is over, and I think it was successful though, because like I said, I at least finished Strawberry Farm. Thank you everyone for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!